Hello and very warm welcome from Dr. Ahmed to YouTube channel established for the benefit of my students. And today also I'm going to discuss chapter 7 of part 2 of the novel Twilight in Delhi by Ahmed Ali. Chapter 7 is very significant because it carries a lot of political element of that time in which colonialism and the effects of colonialism upon the lives of the local people of Delhi have been talked about. Two strains run side by side. One, what the British people are doing, and what is considered by the local population of Delhi, including Muslims especially. So let's have a view of different parts of the chapter 7. Chapter 7 is a very long chapter in this book, so only selected passages which reflect the themes of political nature and the miserability of the people of India after this whole situation that would be talked about. So let's enter into the chapter. Here is chapter 7, as you can have a good view of that. Chapter 7 begins with the idea of this paragraph, which says, many days before the coronation, people began to pour into Delhi from all parts of India and beyond. The roads were washed, oil was sprinkled to keep the dust down, and the city looked spick and span. Motor cars, which had hardly ever been seen before, came into Delhi and raced on the roads, and horses and elephants were seen everywhere. Queer-looking carriages passed through the Chandni Chowk and the Chauri Bazaar, and strange faces were visible all around. So these are some of the preparations which the people were making in Delhi because coronation darbar was to be held, that the English king would come and he will be given a kind of crown on his head will be there, as it used to happen in the past time also, that whoever kings came to Delhi, they were given the kind of coronation, but their coronation was like weighing them according to the gold weight, and then the gold was distributed among the people. Such a thing is not going
It's
to happen.
22
It
hours.
is the English king which is going to be given a type of coronation or the crowning ceremony. That is why all the things are being cleaned. Chandni Chowk and other areas of Delhi city are being prepared. Water is being sprinkled, oil is being sprinkled, and number of other things are being done in order to decorate Delhi or the place where the king was to pass. For example, here, most fantastic and colorful dresses rustled in the streets of Delhi, from long robes to short coats and gowns and waistcoats and headgears of the hundred kind. All of the crowd walked the Tommies in their drab uniform or Englishmen. So that is the entry of the English people, the English king, and the machinery brought by them, the cars, the motor cars, and the Tommies, and the other things regarding the uniform or the wearables of the people of, Britain who had come to occupy this India. All these things were being discussed. So that is the entry of the political element that this chapter goes to discuss. That this thing was happening in order to show the dominance of the British government and how they would like to see themselves and see the people of India. All these things were being done according to their style and their fashion. So many things were being done, many things were being prepared in order to welcome the king of the English people. And so when we move on to the second page, we will be able to find the second strain, and that is the strain where Mir Nihal's house is present, and that house is now bustling with activity because the son of Mir Nihal, that Asghar's marriage is going to be celebrated. So on the one hand, we have coronation darbar, on the other hand, we have Asghar's marriage. The Asghar's marriage does not create any type of problem for coronation darbar, neither the coronation darbar has created any problem, but the writer has taken the chance in order to reflect on the kind of feelings of the British people about Indian people and the feeling of the local people of India, especially the Muslims, about the British people. Here, one sentence would be there which will indicate, if you look at the cursor, for example, it is here. Two women heard of the preparations for the bar and made sore faces and passed bitter remarks. What would these beaten with the broom frungis do? Said Begum Jamal and Begum Nihal remarked. So these are some of the views and some of the words which are spoken and some of the names which are given. For example, one of the name is beaten with broom frungis. That goes to indicate hate and dislike of the woman who is speaking this. And same is the case with Begum Mir Nihal, who says, when the Mughal king used to go out to rupees and gold mohurs were showered by the handfuls, what will these good as dead frungis give? So good as dead frungis, again, element of hate is being given. So this thing, something is very clear here. Something very important should be discussed, that in this section of the book, we can see very clearly that the women are discussing at home It means that not only the outside of the home was affected because of British presence, but also these things were reaching inside the homes and the women were discussing. It means that the presence of the British, the style of the rule of these British, and the way they had snatched the government from the Mughal people, that was discussed in the houses as well. And that is where the women knew all these things. So this is something very strange here, that otherwise these women who were within the four walls of the houses, and they were never given any chances in order to play a bigger role in the wider areas outside of their homes, are discussing the political element. So the writer actually wants to say that the people of India, even inside the houses, were equally hurt because of the loss of the Mughal government, and that he wants to prepare for. But on the other hand, we have number of other people as well who are quite happy with that, and these are common business people. They do not consider that their honor, their respect has been destroyed, but they consider that their business is going to be booming because of this activity. So let's see what type of thing the writer has told us about this. If we look at the area that I have opened this page before you, there are some people who are selling certain things. For example, Kababi is one of the people who are selling these things. And then we have the carpenter. And after that, we have Mr. Cullen also. All these people are small businessmen. And they are going to, ask their friend Kababi in order to give all these people a feast because he's going to earn a lot of money because of all that. Now, the question is here, the Kababi says that he is earning the money, but this is not good because the people of foreign countries have come and they are ruling over that. And his friends reply to him that you are always calling the English bad name, said Siddiq, feeling hurt as if he himself had been abused. You are never contented with your lot. Wait and see what shows in splendor there will be on the 7th of December. I'm just dying to see my gracious English king. So this is the other view, the businessman's view, who is thinking that prosperity will come in India, that Delhi will be giving a lot of attraction to the people because it will be rich Delhi, and as a result, other people, business people, will be earning a lot of money. So this area of the chapter goes to show that some of the people were really happy that the English king has come and he is going to give a lot of wealth to this country, and the poor businessmen will be able to become rich as well. So that is the view quite opposite to the view the Muslim people had. So that is why some of the things are not well talked about in this country, in this chapter as well, that the English people are going to give a lot of good thing to the. So two views are going side by side. One, people who understand what has happened actually, they are there to feel sad for that. But on the other hand, there are certain business mongering people, profit mongering people, who would call them to be good as well. So in that way, the coronation darbar is going to come, and marriage is also going on. People are gathered together. Some kind of discussion will also take place about this coronation darbar, and then why the loss of empire of the Muslim empire took place. That will also be talked about in this chapter. So that is why the defeat of the Muslims is being arrogated or allocated to the loss of blood of the Muslim princes, princesses, and common people also, on which the structure of the British Empire is going to stand in Delhi. That thing is also being discussed by them. And one of the people who is present in these pages, for example, Gul Bano is the granddaughter of Bahadur Shah. She is here, who has come back after using her life. She was a princess, and that is why she was quite a good and beautiful woman. But when the Delhi was captured, when the fort of the king was captured, she had to run away, and every people died around her, and she had to come back. If we are told that she married her cook treated her very badly, but ultimately also died, and she resorted to the begging. So in that way, she is the kind of symbol and kind of example with which we can say that the people who were the princes and princesses of yore, of yesterday, today they are found to be begging. So that's a change which has come not only among the people who are associated with the courts of the king, but also common general people are also suffering. But big suffering have come in the share of the people who are princes and princesses. So Gulbano is singing songs in the streets. She is not begging like other beggars. She rather sings the poetry of her father Bahadur Shah Zafar, and in that return she gets something. A few annas of pension are also given by the British people to her as a princess, as an inheritor of the whole government. So in that way, this is the symbol of the destruction which has come to the house and hearth of the Mughal king and the society in general, that woman who was a princess, one day she is resorting to the begging. Let's see more what after Gulbano. Gulbano is receiving very tender treatment from Begum Mir Nihal, Begum Jamal, and Begum Kaleem. All these people are giving her satisfaction. Mehru is also talking with her, and they're all trying to give her satisfaction. But of course, she would not be happy with anything. The men outside are discussing about the causes which had taken place, because these causes have become important because of the destruction which has happened. So some of the people, for example, Habibuddin, as we find in this paragraph in the top of this line, the cursor is showing, they indicate that Habibuddin is saying that there were certain problems, technical failures and mistakes have taken place, because of which the problem of the destruction of Mughal Empire has occurred. So they associate the reason of the destruction of Mughal Empire with the treachery of some of the people, with the bad planning of some of the people, and with the lack of scientific tools and scientific progress in technology, and the lack of modern warfare and the lack of modern weapons they associate with that. So everyone is talking in that sense, but one person who is Kambal Shah, one of the friends of Mir Nihal, he says that this may be or may not be the cause, but the real cause is that people have become separated from religion. People have been talking about the things which were non-religious, and therefore God became angry with these people, and ultimately the government was snatched from them. So that is the whole chapter we have concluded. Now we can go back and sum up this chapter by saying that this chapter 7 is actually very, very important chapter, because it includes the discussion on two strains. One is the political strain, other is the social strain. But when we talk of the political strain, we see that on the one hand, British coronation is going to be talked about, the effect of that British coronation, and our people are still discussing what is the cause of the defeat, and they are showing the kind of manifestation or phenomena regarding the sufferings of the people who were princes and princesses sometime, but today they are going to become the beggars, and the common people who are affected with that. But there are a section of the people as well who are talking about the business increase also. So in that way, the chapter is political in nature. Chapter talks about the post-colonial and colonial element also. It talks about the way the British spread their wings, and they definitely controlled the whole country, and they showed their splendor and their fascination and their beauty and their color in order to show that they are the best people. But on the other hand, we have the sadness and the sorrow which is spreading all over, Delhi. Mir Nihal's household, though, is good, going good, but on the other hand, there are a number of other houses which are not definitely going good, especially the princes and princesses of the days of the Mughal Empire now turned into the beggars. That's the most miserable thing talked about this chapter. So the chapter is really significant in this regard. So definitely, I hope some of the understanding has been created for my students. So if you like it, understand something, do not fail to hit the like and subscribe button. We shall be meeting in some next video. Till that time, keep happy, keep peaceful, keep loving. Thank you very much for watching. That's it from me.